This is homework help for this worksheet lesson 1.2, Exploring Translations. The first 4 questions, it says use the graph to answer problems 1 through 4. Number 1 says translate figure A. So here's figure A. Using the rule x, y, x plus 1, y minus 4. So it wants you to add 1 to all the x values and subtract 4 from all the y values. So you can do this one of 2 ways. You can look and decide from any of these points and say, okay, if my x value was 3, what will my x value be now? I'm looking here. This is 3, the numbers in between, right? If this was 3 and I'm adding 1 to it, where will it be? Or you can pull out each coordinate and you can say, okay, A is 3, 3. We have 3, 3. We have 1, 3. We have 2, 2. And we have 2, 4. So I found those coordinates by looking here on the x value first, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 3, and 2, 4. You could do that. And then you could add 1 to all of the x's and subtract 4 from all of the y's. Either one of those, but the directions say draw the image. So it might be easier for you to just look at these and say, okay, plus 1 on the x means that I'm going right 1. So I'm going to go here. So this would be right 1 for this one. And then for the y, it's going to be minus 4. So we're not going to actually draw a point there. This is just my stopping point. Minus 4 would be down 4 on the y. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our new point would be here for this first one. And then if you look, this is 2 squares away. So I'm just going to do 2 squares away and plot this other point. This is 1 square above and 1 square below, and then this would be the new A. So we would call that A prime. So that's what it wants you to do. And then it says practice reading the rule out loud. X plus 1. If you did it mathematically, you would get, so x plus 1 here, 3 plus 1. So I'm going to do it across here because it'll be easier. 3, 3. And we're going to add 1 to the x here. And we have 1, 3. Again, I'm just rewriting these so it's easier to see. 2, 2, and 2, 4. And I'm adding 1 to all of these x values. Remember, coordinates are always written x, y, always, always. And then it says minus 4 on the y's. So minus 4, minus 4, minus 4, minus 4. So 3 plus 1 is 4. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. So this is me doing the x values. The y values, 3 minus 4 is negative 1. 3 minus 4 again is negative 1. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. And 4 minus 4 is 0. So we're going to check ourselves. Do I have a spot at 4, negative 1? 4. So I'm going to go at 0, 0. I'm going to go to 4. I'm going to go down to negative 1. Yep, I got that one. So that one's good. A spot at 2, negative 1. Yep. A spot at 3, negative 2. Yep. And a spot at 3, 0. Yep. So either one of those way works. You can either add and subtract with the coordinates and then draw them, or you can just visually see, okay, I'm going to go plus 1 here and down 4. Plus 1 here and down 4. Plus 1 here and down 4. Plus 1 here and down 4 to make the new A. So that was kind of your freebie for this one. Then number 2 says, How is figure B translated? So let's, first of all, we have to find B. B is right here. How was figure B translated to get D? And then it says, write your answer using the mapping notation. So it wants you to write your answer similar to this. So my X had to move how many? And my Y had to move how many to get to this new spot? Remember, they only move up, down, left, or right. So my X is plus how many, and my Y is plus or minus how many. So this is going to be X and then plus or minus a number, and then Y plus or minus another number to get this mapping notation. Number 3 then says, Y is E, so figure E is here. I'm going to switch colors. Y is E not a translation of C? Why are these not a translation? So remember, translate means the shape stays the same size. It just slides somewhere else on the paper. So think back to this one we did. This rectangle is still a rectangle. It's still the same size rectangle. This one might look a little funny, but it's still the same distance apart from itself. They tell you that B and D are translated. It's the same size triangle. What's wrong with E and C? Why are they not a translation is what you're writing on the line here. What is different? Number 4 does not have to do with the graph anymore, so I'm moving away from it. Figure F has these vertices. If the figure is translated using this rule, what are the coordinates of the new vertices? So you're going to go back to this method right here that we did, where we did the algebraic. What I would do if I were you, I would write all of these coordinates out. So I would say, I would maybe go right over here where you have some space, and I would say -6, 1. I'm literally just copying these down. -9, 1. -8, 2. And then I have -9, 3. -6, 3. And -7, 2. And I would add the plus or the minus that it says to. So this says X plus 2. So I'm adding 2 to all the X's. And it says Y plus 5. So I'm adding 5 to all of the Y's. Remember, coordinates are always written X, Y. So you're going to physically go and you're going to say, okay, here's an X value. Let's add 2. Here's an X value. Let's add 2. Here's an X value, and so on. And then on the line, write the new coordinates. Okay. Number 5 is one that is just having you do the movement. So it's saying graph this triangle 4 units right. So that's 4 squares right and 2 squares down. So again, you're literally going to count the squares. You're going to start here. You're going to go 4 squares to the right and 2 squares down for that one. We're going to flip the page here. 6, 7, and 8 are multiple choice questions. It says for 6, which figure is a translation of figure A? Remember, a translation stays the same, facing the same direction. So if I was looking at this, I would say, okay, this smaller line is on the bottom and this larger line is on the top. It also stays the same size. Only one of these are the same direction in the same size. So you can almost instantly count the 2 that are not the same size, and then you're just looking at the other 2. So you're going to bubble in whichever one of those you think is correct. Number 7 says the coordinates of a triangle are given in the table. The triangle is translated using this rule. So it's X minus 3. So all of the X values are going to be -3. So all of these. And X plus 2, or Y plus 2, I should say, all of these are going to be +2. So you're going to subtract 3 to all these values and write that new number. Add 2 to all these values and write that new number. And you're going to write it in these little boxes. Number 8 says a quadrilateral is translated 5 units right and 3 units down. What expression could be used to find one of the coordinates? Select all that are correct. So 5 units right. So when you think about a coordinate plane and we think about x, x is left and right. Left is negative, right is positive. So we're thinking like a number line. When we think y, it's up and down. Down is negative, think like a thermometer. Up is positive. So 5 units right. What would 5 units right be? Positive or negative? So you might be looking for x and plus 5 as one of your answers, but it says select all that are correct. So there's probably a correct y one as well. There's a correct x one and probably a correct y one as well. See if you can figure out which two. I'm not going to help you on these spiral review questions because these are just bonus points. These are 7th grade probability skills. Are you able to remember how to do probability from 7th grade? If so, try something. You never know if we give you a bonus point. If you have any further questions, reach out to myself or Mrs. Cooley. Have a great evening.